All right, our next speaker is another one of our fantastic communication studies students, and I'm very excited to hear more about journaling from Grace Levy.
I got props this year. All right, everyone. So this summer, I had a lot of free time in the beginning, and I started by basically purging out my room. So I cleaned out clothes, and don't tell my professors, but I took care of some old notebooks I had. I tossed them perhaps. And when I was going through some of my old things, I found a journal of mine. So I have always been a journaler. It's just something I've done elementary school, middle school, high school, college. I have journals going back all the way till then. Journaling for me is something where I can get my thoughts onto paper. Believe it or not, I wasn't always this good speaking and talking in front of people. So journaling was a way for me to express what was going on in my head into paper. Journaling is really amazing. It has so many benefits. Today I'm going to be talking to you, and I'm going to read a few excerpts from my journals. This is kind of vulnerable, but it's good growth. I kind of am talking today to also encourage you to journal. There's a lot of times in my life where there were things going on and my journal was the place I went to. Journaling has become a way of me also to see a mini time capsule, right? It's cool to look back and see, wow, all these are really cool things I did. So journaling is just so amazing and has so many benefits. One of the other things I noticed about journaling is my handwriting changes so much, so I apologize now. You're going to see some of my chicken scratch, but I think we'll get into our first one. I didn't practice with the mic last time. I don't know why I'm writing. I'm just hoping this week goes okay. It's insane that I've dedicated, almost unknowingly, almost a third of this to Mr. Big and not even scratched upon what I've done. So this entry is for me. No more talk of guys or anyone for that matter. Let's talk Grace. This school year, I've grown as a person. Let's start first with friendships. I've made a ton of new friends this year and rekindled old friendships that I thought were long gone. I've become closer to some friends while I've drifted apart from others. I also should have mentioned this summer I binge watched Sex and the City. So to keep things anonymous, I changed some names to characters from that show. So one thing I touched upon was my handwriting, right? One thing is I don't write like this anymore, but at the time there was someone who I was really close with and they wrote like that. So I tried to write like that too. One of the lessons I take away from this is, we need to be confident in being ourselves and being original, especially now this was in 2018, so this was high school and I was in marching band and there were a lot of cliques and things like that. So it was really important to me to try to fit in, right? And now I can stand up here and be myself. But at that time, there was a lot of pressure for me to be and conform, and so I tried to pick up the habits other people had, like their handwriting. The other thing I noticed is I talk so much about other people and never enough about myself. That's something in all of my journals is I talked way too much about other people and I never celebrate the things that are going on with me. All right, let's move forward now to something more recent. She calls me a close friend, but she also called Carrie. And look where they are now. I try not to think about it because then I'll be sad. She has become so much to me so quickly. Part of me wonders if it's just because I'm around on the weekends, but there I go being insecure again. I can only control my actions and try to make sure this goes the distance. She has introduced me to so much at KU, and I'm in gratitude for her taking me under her wing. Shorties, basketball games, Tommy Boys, Bagel Bar, Wicked Botanist, Lehigh Valley Mall, photography film, endless Starbucks trips, Mario Kart, the pub, the tavern, Golden Bear Village South Hangs, long conversations while driving, walking, sitting, sipping, dreaming. I'll desperately miss this next year. I love her and the moments we've made. She opened me up to her family, Mr. Big, and Steve. I've really enjoyed meeting and becoming friends with all of them. I can picture it now, a reunion at their wedding or maybe a summer party, still in each other's lives somehow and catching up. It seems so perfect, maybe. One of the things now I've started to focus on is the people in my life, not just writing about random crushes or things that are superficial, but focusing on the memories and people who are important to me. So my journals have evolved from superficial to more important. One of the other lessons I take away from this is I need to be more conscious about the relationships I've made and keeping with them. This article, or this journal, is about one of my friends who graduated, and we still keep in touch, I'm happy to say. So I just encourage you all, start journaling, get your feelings out, and thank you.